Going to show you how to do some loops in programming, and we're going to use those loops to draw some spiral. So to start out, we've got import turtle, and t is equal to turtle. And then I'm going to speed things up a bit. I'm going to say t dot speed 10. That's going to make things go a little bit faster. And then I'm going to go t dot forward 100. And I'm going to go t dot right 180. So that's going to make it turn all the way around. Now, if I just run that, it's going to draw a line. And what I want to do is I want to put that inside of a loop, meaning I want t dot forward and t dot right to repeat a whole bunch of times. So here's how we do that. I'm going to write for I in range bracket 10. This means repeat this 10 times. It also gives you access to a variable I, which has a value that goes up, but you don't need to worry about that just now. Everything after this will repeat 10 times, but it must be indented. So watch, I'm putting the cursor before the T and I'm pressing tab. I'll do that again. I'm going to press tab. Now watch. When I run this, it's going to go, turn, and go. So it goes back and forth 10 times. Doesn't look all that interesting, but how about, well, you want to just see that one more time? I'll slow it down a bit. So I'll make our speed 3. And you can just see it goes back and forth 10 times. Okay, so if I want this to make an interesting shape, what if instead of turning 180 degrees, I turn a little bit less? So let's play around with this. I'm going to drop it from 180 to 175. So it doesn't turn right around, it goes off by a little bit. And something of a spiral shape starts to form. Now, instead of 10, I'm going to do 100 iterations, but I'm going to speed it right up so that we get to see this happen real fast. And here we go. Pretty interesting looking shape. Now, what if instead of turning 75 degrees, what if I just turned that 90 degrees? Can you guess what this will do? It's going to draw a square. It just keeps going over and over and over the same square. But it's a perfect square because I'm going 90. What if I went a little more than 90? So let's say 100. And again, we get another spiral shape. Now at 100, it keeps going over itself. To change the color, I can go t dot color, and then inside double quotes, put that in capitals. Let's make this red. And then what if I did the same thing after red? So I'm going to copy that block of code. But instead, let's make this blue. So my color is now blue. It's going to draw the blue pretty much right over top of the red. So let's change the angle. So instead of going right 100, let's go right, I don't know, 85. That's something less than 90. So now it's not going to completely overlap. I'm not sure what this will look like. Okay, so I'm going to let you play around with that, and you can draw various spirals and shapes. Here's the key idea here. If you write for I in range 100, whatever happens in the lines immediately after that are indented, and that's important. See how there's an indentation here? And just watch. I get that indentation by pressing tab. Everything that's tabbed over is going to get repeated. So these two lines will get repeated 100 times, then those two lines will get repeated 100 times. So you can pause this and give that a try. Then I want to show you another idea. Okay, so here's our new idea. I'm going to do about the same thing, except I'm going to do, instead of 2 loops, one after the other, I'm going to do a nested loop. So I'm going to do a loop. Let's keep that red. And we'll slow it down a little bit so you can see it. So let's make the speed 3. And I'm going to go for I in range 3. and I have to have a colon after that. It automatically tabs for me. T dot forward, and I'm going to go forward 100. And then T dot right, and I'm going to go 120. I specifically chose 120. This is going to give me a triangle. Okay, so this loop 3 times will give me a triangle. What if I want a lot of triangles? Well, before this, I'm going to put for j in range. You see, when you're doing a loop inside of a loop, you get 100 of them, you can't keep using I. So j, that's my outer loop, and this will repeat 100 times. And within that 100 times, I'm going to repeat this loop. And because this is inside of that, it has to be indented over, and then that one's indented double. So in terms of indentation, after for j in range, I've got a colon. And then the next useful line after that, I've got a tab. But because this is a loop, everything within it has to have its own tab. So now it's going to go over that triangle, and it's going to go over that triangle 100 times. Just got to fix the tab, so by backing that up, it's got to line up perfectly. So it's going to go over that triangle, and it's going to go over the same triangle 100 times. So not too interesting. I'm going to speed this up so you can see it a little bit faster. And then what we can do to make a cool shape is, how about inside of here, we do a little bit of a turn. So let's say I go T dot right, and I'm going to turn right by, let's say, 4 degrees. And then all of a sudden, that's going to form a pretty interesting spiral. Now, that spiral is made by doing 100 triangles all on top of each other.